I'm Leon Todd for G66. Welcome to another Tuesday Tone Tip. On today's video, we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that is lead delays. Specifically, I want to show you a cool alternative to a classic panning delay that you can use to spice up your guitar solos, whether you're trying to find a cool sound for the studio or you really want to impress the audience for a guitar solo live. Before we do though, I have the USA Mark IV lead mid-gain dialed up with all the gain and the fat switch on, my free cab IR, a digital mono delay, and a bit of the large room reverb. This is a Les Paul Custom with a Bill Lawrence L500XL in the bridge position. So like I said, all the gain today. One thing that you may have noticed using unfiltered mono delays is that they can kind of clash with your main playing and just make everything a little muddy and murky. I'll give you a quick example. You can see the delay mix is at 25%. And while I am running it in parallel, I do have kill dry engaged. So I've got correct gain staging here. Let's have a listen to it. There was a lot going on there, and there's several ways to work around that issue with delays. You can apply high and low cuts in the EQ tab over here. You can apply some modulation to give it more of a spatial effect, but one of the best ways you can do this, and again, it's another spatial effect trick, is to use panning on the delay. And there's actually a pan delay type that already exists in the Axe-FX3, FM3, and FM9. So you can dial it up at the stock settings. There's already a little bit of filtering on it, but you can see in here the third LFO is targeting the pan parameter in here. So our single delay line is going to be panned around the stereo spectrum into all that space that our mono guitar isn't taking up. And this combined with the filtering really opens up the guitar sound. You can still hear your lead straight down the center, but now you've got this lovely spatial panning delay that adds a real element of excitement and, to my ears anyway, really enhances rather than interferes with the core guitar tone. A consequence of all that extra space is I find you can play with a higher mix on there. The pan delay also works really great with a low mix if you just want to use it to beef up rhythm guitar playing. So try 5% on there, and I find this just works as an always-on style effect. You can use it with a reverb or you can use it instead of a reverb. I'm going to use it with a reverb. I've also got a video on how you can turn any delay into a panning delay that I'd recommend you check out. It is just another trick in the toolbox of delay line manipulation that we can use to spice up our lead playing. There is a great alternative to this, and I got this idea by playing around with a preset on the old TC2290 rack delay, which is a highly sought after delay unit. It was a very expensive unit back in the day, and secondhand the units go for a lot of money. Now there is a model of the 2290 that is already in the Axe-FX3, FM9, and FM3. But I'm just going to roll with the pan delay for now. The 2290 let you pan not only the delayed signal, but the dry signal as well. And that is the trick we're going to look at today. And we can achieve that by keeping our pan delay up here in a parallel pathway. I've just set the echo pan to 0 so that now it's just going to come down the center with all the repeats. But I have added, I've actually just engaged it. It was already added in the preset, but I've engaged this tremolo pan block set to a panner. I've turned the rate down to 0.5 hertz, and I've left all the other settings at the stock setting. So let's disable the delay. We'll have a listen to what the panner does just to our dry signal. noticed a level drop when I engaged the panner there. With these low rates, I would recommend setting the level to 3 dB. And now what we're going to do is engage the delay, which is going to come down the center, and then engage the panner, which is going to pan our dry signal around the delayed signal. Before, we had the delayed signal panning around our center dry signal. This is such a cool alternative. I don't think I'd use it on every single guitar solo that I ever play, but if you want to spice up a particular lead part, or you want something to really make the audience's head spin when you're playing stereo live, this works so well. Let's have a listen to it. Let's have a quick comparison between the pan delay and the pan dry. Let's start on the pan delay. Now, if you really wanted to go for an authentic 2290 vibe with the dry and the delay panning, drop in the 2290 pan delay from my blocks library, which is linked in the video description, with the panner over here. This one sounds pretty epic. Now, this isn't necessarily something that I would leave on all the time, but it is a super fun patch that you can use and adapt to your personal presets. Again, for that guitar solo that you may be tracking that just needs something a little bit different, or for that moment during a solo when you want to make the audience's head absolutely spin. I really have underappreciated the power of the panner type in the tremolo for a long time, and playing around with it, it's a pretty amazing effect on there. You can play around with the width, even say with the width at around 30% and a high rate on here. You can get a very cool effect when combined with a delay. You've also got the ability to use the ducking feature in there. If you set the width to 100% and added a little bit of ducking as you're playing really intensely, the overall stereo image on your dry sound is going to be a little narrower, and when you kind of bring it down, it's going to get a lot wider on there. I'm going to finish things up by just jamming with this setting on here with the panning 2290, the panning dry sound on there. I really enjoy this. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to the G66 channel and hit the notification bell so that you can check out all the great content on this channel from all the amazing players who contribute to it. And let me know if you've got any suggestions for future Tuesday tone tips. I'd love to hear from you. For now, let's hear some more greasy lead guitar with all this wonderful panning. I'll see you next time.